Well, welcome to a new Team CGC 9.8 video. So for today, we have our CGC 9.8 comic book market update video that we like to do occasionally, and just did some research this morning on eBay for completed listings and prices, and a lot of those key issues that we talk about a lot and love to collect. And certainly with the whole coronavirus stimulus check led environment, there are a lot of CGC 9.8 comic books right now that are hot. But maybe a sign that the market's maybe somewhat cooling, but it's really easy to kind of point to a couple really hot issues and say absolutely it's not cooling. So okay, we'll get into the full list. And I always say in these videos, one of the best things you can do if you're buying CGC 9.8 comic books is just to have more information about the prices for all these books and what the fair market value is for whatever key issue you want. So you do some information on eBay, you get those completed listings, and you'll know more and way less of a chance you'll ever overpay. So I got some books from the team too, some CGC 9.8 completed listings. Yeah, good list here to get through. So they're all CGC 9.8 comic books, all US dollars, the prices, and I'll have a full list in the description below as well. So first book is someone let me know about this on Instagram. He didn't buy this book, but it was my good Batman Beyond buddy Jose Manuel Camarade on Instagram. Let me know Batman Beyond #1 sold for $890. Yeah, and it was like plus $12 shipping, so $900 shipped. $890 for Batman Beyond #1 CGC 9.8. Yeah, book I recommended. And I bought mine sort of from $400 to $450. I have two of them in the CGC 9.8, kind of right in that area. And $890 one sold. And he sent me the completed listing picture and everything. So yeah. So thanks to Jose Manuel for sending that in to me. $890 for Batman Beyond #1. Had some completed listings sent in from Brett as well. He noticed a Transformers #1 sold for $745.99. CGC 9.8, looking really good. This one, like a perfect copy, essentially. $745.99. I mean, that is a great 80s key issue that I've recommended in the past. I have one in the CBCS 9.8, and I bought mine for like $425 it was. So, I mean, that's a CBCS, so maybe back then it was about $500, I would say, for a CGC. Would have been the equivalent price. $745.99 for a great, awesome, it looked really awesome too, and a big key issue that I've recommended in the past. Transformers #1, CGC 9.8 white pages. That was one he just saw himself, but he actually purchased the next one himself. Uncanny X-Men 133 for $359. And I think that's such an amazing price in this environment, especially with like Wolverine limited series, seeing some of them go for $400. I've mentioned in past videos, this book's just a lot more rare. There's a lot less on the census, and I like it better than Wolverine limited series #1 too. And if you can get it for that same price, because Wolverine limited series was used to going like $275 to $300. But that's heated up with those Frank Miller signings. So this book is just a great value, I think, right now. And $359 is like a bang-on great fair value price. I had a couple people messaging me on the team as well saying that they paid in the 400s for this one. So this is a really great price in this environment. Uncanny X-Men 133, the first solo Wolverine story. Yeah, like a pretty old book, 1980s book. A great collector book for that price, especially given what some of these other issues are going up for. Brett also let me know of an Edge of Spider-Verse #2 that had sold for $526. So, yeah, I was interested to kind of see some completed listings on this book with Ultimate Fallout 4 just exploding right now, and we'll get to that one. But, yeah, an Edge of Spider-Verse #2 heating up a bit, maybe, $526, I think. In an auction, 6 months ago, let's call it, it was like $426 maybe, like $425-ish would have been maybe a happy, fair price. So right now in an auction, $526, so that gives you an idea. Certainly the market's still heated up, I think. Next one book here is Matt from M&M Comics on Instagram had got in touch with me and let me know he bought a Batman Vengeance of Bane. Interesting, this one. This was late in May when he bought this one. It was like 2 or 3 days before the solo Bane movies rumors started to percolate kind of thing. And he grabbed one for $200 in a new case. So that's a great deal. And like I bought mine for like $220. So anywhere, I always say like, oh, if you can get it for $200, great deal. A nice looking one, $225. Now with the solo Bane movie rumors heating up, it's like $275 to $300 for this book now. Yeah, maybe even more, I think, at this point. So a book that I loved, and yeah, from my note, that I have, and this is a really good Batman first appearance to grab, and maybe in this environment, I mean, he grabbed it a couple days before for $200. Maybe in this environment, you might want to be patient. Who knows if these rumors are true or not? I don't know too much about them, but probably wait for under $250 to grab Batman Vengeance Bane. And on Instagram, last teen book here, it was Esoteric Eccentricity. On Instagram, had purchased a Venom #3 second print. So now the third print, the null cover, the second print, which is actually a really cool cover as well. And he grabbed it for $99.75 in a new case with that cool Venom label. Yeah, so it was actually really looking super sharp. And, you know, maybe if you're super patient in that one, you could get it in an auction. I mean, it's the first null, so and this second print is really collected, so actually that might be a really fair price, because the first print and the first nulls are usually about $120-ish, I would say. Yeah, really cool looking book. $99.75 for Venom #3 second print. So those are the team books. Message me on Instagram if you're seeing a CGC 9.8 auction that caught your eye, a completed listing, or you bought something, whatever it might be. Let me know, and I'll try to include it on the video here. Okay, let's get into the list. Deadpool, Merc with a Mouth, #7 I saw sell. So yeah, this one's a new one for me, pretty much. It's the First Lady Deadpool. And this one was the Trainspotting variant. Trainspotting variant. In the CGC 9.8 white pages, though, First Lady Deadpool. I mean, I was watching this one and thinking, you know, it could be worth a bid. You never know. But it went for $123.77. So $123.77 for First Lady Deadpool. This Trainspotting variant. I'm not sure what some of the other variants are. I don't know too much about that book. But First Lady Deadpool for just a little over $100 could be a pretty great book to get if you're a Deadpool fan, and that seems to be like the right price with maybe some potential for that one. Yeah, so Deadpool Merc with a Mouth #7 is the First Lady Deadpool. Yeah, $123.77. I saw a Spectacular Spider-Man #90 sell. This is a really early appearance of the black costume. Yeah, and one of these sold for $187.50 in the CGC 9.8. I think that is a pretty good price. I think I maybe saw them go near the 150s, but this is a pretty good example of a book that hasn't like crazily heated up in this environment. That's sort of a fair price, I would say. $187.50 for Spectacular Spider-Man #90. Star Wars 42. So this one heating up huge with Season 2 Mandalorian, Boba Fett possibly being in it. Yeah, so I saw Star Wars 42 in an auction sell for $826. So that is quite a lot. And I had purchased this book sort of very early on when I started collecting CGC 9.8s. I have one, yeah. I didn't choose to bring it out today, but I purchased it very early, and it was a bit of I didn't really know much about the price, to be honest, at all. I ended up grabbing it. It was about $420 in an old case for a Star Wars 42. So that's looking pretty good for just a completely idiot buy at the beginning. Didn't know anything about price. Didn't really know what I was doing. You know, kind of in the first 6 months of collecting, and hadn't started this channel then, certainly. So, but now to see one, Star Wars 42, $826. So, yeah, it's kind of tempting to maybe sell mine, but I don't think I will. I really like Star Wars and Star Wars 42, the comic, for sure. So Batman 655, I saw one sell for $134.59. So 655, this is the first print Andy Kubert, sort of normal first print version of it. I sort of had recommended 655, the variant version, as a kind of a more investment grade book, but this one's really cool to get if you're on a budget. $134.59 is kind of heating up a bit, I think, actually. There was a lull in this book, I think, 6 months ago, again, I always kind of mention, but kind of a general lull back then. And this book in auctions, you could get it for under $100. Yeah, I saw auctions $91, $93 going for this book occasionally, and was really tempted myself to want to grab one. But I have two nice raws in this book that are really 9.8 candidates, to be honest. So kind of happy and kind of looking for the variant in the CGC 9.8. But still, if you're on a budget, Batman 655, $134.59. Maybe try to get it for $120. I think maybe a bit of a bidding war might have, got going for this, or yeah, you know, if someone just wanted it, willing to pay the extra 20, which I wouldn't blame them. But that range for this book is sort of, I think, from 100 to 140 for Batman 655, the Andy Kubert first print, the red sort of cover. Next book, New Mutants 98. Yes, so I brought mine out, and I saw one sell for $805.50 in an auction, and it was a direct version to not the newsstand like this one. Not the newsstand version, and went for $805.50. I mean, that's a book that certainly in the lulls we're going in the 600s for a direct, where some of the deals may be getting into the 7s, but yeah, slightly heating up a New Mutants 98, hopefully, I would say. First appearance of Deadpool, obviously, in this one. New Mutants 98. A lot of them on the census, so $805.50. Maybe if you wanted to buy this, you'd be more patient. Maybe get it closer to $750, but a decent deal, I would say, in this kind of hot environment where a lot of books are really hot. Amazing Spider-Man 317 I saw. So this is a cool Venom cover, you know, right after 316, which is the one that most people kind of think of. But 317 is still pretty well collected. Those 3 issues right in a row are really well collected. 315, 316, 317 with Venom fans and McFarlane fans. Amazing Spider-Man 317 went for $170.50. So next book here is X Factor number 6, First Full Apocalypse. Yeah, I was watching this book and kind of tempted myself, but decided not to bid. It went for $237.50. And that's like pretty much bang on. Like, you see nice copies of these go for $250 occasionally. And then maybe in an auction this might go for like $210 if you get lucky, but yeah, $237.50 I think. In a new case, this one, First Full Apocalypse, looking pretty good, and yeah, why not? I think that's a decent fair price for sure. A Star Wars 39 had sold. This is a part 1 of Empire Strikes Back with the cool kind of Darth Vader cover. Star Wars 39 for $110.26, and yeah, you'd see some of the completed listings in this book getting up to sort of $140, $150 occasionally. Yeah, being like the Empire Strikes Back Part 1, it's kind of for Darth Vader fans a book to want. And yeah, you know what? The Star Wars 39 for $110.26, I ended up purchasing it. Yeah, it was I won an auction and was kind of waiting around. I've mentioned periodically that I'm hunting like Darth Vader Star Wars covers and in the CGC 9.8. So this was one of them. And thrilled to get this one for $110.26. Yeah, that's just a really good, fair price. Cheap shipping to Canada. So, yeah, really, like, there was many times for this book where I turned down, like, a $150. So to get it for $110, kind of saving $40 is great for a book that I really wanted. Yeah, Star Wars 39, a one that you can possibly, you know, it's affordable. And if you're a Darth Vader fan, Star Wars fan, it's 1-to-1. And certainly I wanted it. And yeah, that'll be an unbox video soon for sure. Amazing Spider-Man 316, the next one, is the classic sort of McFarlane Venom cover. And $317 I saw this one sell for. And, you know, I grabbed mine maybe 5 or 6 months ago. One of mine, I have 2, but one of them was $262, I think it was. So $317 this one going for, so yeah, kind of heating up, I guess. Next one, an Iron Man 282, First Full War Machine. This is one of the classic Iron Man covers of this era, for sure. $164.50 this one sold for, and that is, I think, pretty bang on fair value. Yeah, maybe if you're really lucky you get this under $150, but yeah, good value for Iron Man 282, so that's one, yeah, maybe a good value you can still kind of get in this environment. First Full War Machine. Detective Comics 576. This is the first McFarlane Batman. I got this one in the CGC 9.8 and saw this one go for $137.50. And yeah, I think I paid like $124 or something, or like that kind of rings a bell. It was a while ago when I bought mine, but in an auction. So yeah, this one's still kind of going for about a fair price as well. Next book was one I was watching and sort of kind of on the lookout for this one. It's for cheap shipping to Canada. It just seems everyone I've seen does not have cheap shipping to Canada, but I really like this cover. It's a Spawn 306, so a brand new Spawn issue, the Gunslinger McFarlane variant, where he's kind of smoking and Spawn on the cover, done by McFarlane, a classic McFarlane cover. I saw one of these sell for $112.50, but the shipping to Canada was like $60-$70. Like, it was something stupid. I couldn't bid on it, but I am looking to pay about $112.50 basically for this Spawn 306 CGC 9.8 white pages. A new book, but one that I just really like the cover, and it's, yeah, with McFarlane books, like sometimes you just see it and you want it. And yeah, so this will be one I'll try to get, but hopefully I can get it before, hopefully it doesn't get too high in price or anything. Next book is a really popular modern book. It's Thor, God of Thunder, #2. It's the first Gore the God Butcher. And this has become a really big kind of modern key issue for, I think, people that are probably more on top of the modern game than I am. Because, yeah, it's one I haven't really covered too much, but it went for $182.50. So, yeah, first appearance of a villain, I'm pretty sure, Gore the God Butcher. I haven't read this, so I'm not sure, but Thor, God of Thunder, #2 is a key that's been mentioned to me by people on the team before, and so it's certainly out there as 1-to-1. And $182.50, I'm pretty sure is a good price for this. This is a modern key issue that I think has heated up at times to maybe even more than that. So that's a pretty fair price for this one. Thor, God of Thunder, #2, one to consider if you're looking for kind of modern first appearances. Another modern, Secret Avengers #23. This is when Venom joins the Secret Avengers, so it's like the first Agent Venom. And this is like Flash Thompson Venom, I believe. But that kind of has some potential with, obviously there's a Venom movie and there's an Avengers movie. Like, if somehow Venom ever appeared in an Avengers movie, I could see this issue really blowing up. And it's got a cool cover, so Secret Avengers #23. First Agent Venom is what it's sort of known as. Is a $102.50 I saw one go for in an auction. So, yeah, that's a cool modern that might be worth speculating on, for sure. Yeah, Secret Avengers #23 for $102.50. Next one, Incredible Hulk 330. So this one is 330 when McFarlane's first art on Hulk. And, yeah, a bit of like an underwhelming cover. I never was sort of attracted to buy this one, to be honest. But, yeah, one sold in an auction for $78. So I think that's a really good deal for this one, if you wanted it. Incredible Hulk 330 for $78. I saw an X-Men Annual #14, first Gambit cameo. And it's a pretty big cameo, too. So I always thought that this one was, pretty great one to get if you're a Gambit fan. And it sort of had room to go up. And, yeah, obviously there's a lot of rumors now that Gambit's going to be coming to the MCU and stuff. So, X-Men Annual #14, first appearance of Gambit in cameo, $194.50 it sold for. And, yeah, I was used to seeing these go for about $100 for a really long time. And it was one that was like, wow, for 100 and something. Like 100, 110, that's a really good one to have. And yeah, with all these rumors, $194.50 in an auction. So, yeah, maybe one to be patient on, but the other 266, Uncanny X-Men, has really heated up as well with Gambit. So, compared to the prices that I was sort of used to seeing over the past year or two. So, could be one to be patient on. I'm not sure. There should be some lulls, certainly, before the next X-Men MCU movie comes out. So, next book, huge book, Amazing Spider-Man 300. Saw one sell for a decent price, actually, yeah. It was $2,160. And I didn't see this one, and it was actually in Canada. So it was $2,900 Canadian, which exchanges to $2,160 American. So, that's a pretty great price for this book. Yeah, I think, I've been seeing some in this environment because I've been seeing some completed listings for like $2,350 was one I saw. And this one was looking pretty good too, in a new case. Very similar to the one that I had grabbed sort of 6 months ago for $1,970. So $2,160 for a really good looking one in this environment, I think is great. And it's a good example of, that Let There Be Carnage came out and like this book heated up and all the Carnage books heated up for like a month there, and we're almost 2 months maybe after that sort of announcement, and maybe starting to lull some of these books where you can get a deal, the Venom and Carnage book. So yeah, Amazing Spider-Man 300, $2,160, given this crazy hot environment, I think is a great price. So I saw a couple Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles #51s sell. Yeah, this is a book that, I definitely was kind of recommending as one that had some potential. And I saw one sell. It was a $224.99. And this listing is actually still up on eBay, I believe it was, because there was like 2 or 3 available. And one had sold for, $224.99. So if you wanted this for $225, you can probably do that right now if you're in the States. It is really expensive shipping to Canada. But I think if you're patient in an auction with this book, sort of $175 to $200, I think is like a really good value type of price. Maybe a little over $200. But yeah, the first appearance of Janicas are selling for $224.99. One of them selling for And I saw one looking just like this in the Signature Series, signed and sketched by Kevin Eastman. And that's a pretty cool one, because this one you don't see, there's not a lot in the census to begin with, and you don't see many of them in the sign and sketch. So someone paid $389.95 for this, the nice sign and sketch right there, 9.8 Signature Series, $389.95. So yeah, you know what? I think, you know, you be patient on this one. Try to get it under 200, but it's still 1-to-1, I think. Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 51, and I did say on our last video, on the CGC census, they did have a note now that says first appearance of Jennika. So I imagine any recently graded Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 51s will have first appearance of Jennika on the label now, because yeah, they definitely didn't have it for the longest time on the census on the internet. Okay, last book here, Ultimate Follow number 4. Yeah, had to make sure to see if any of these sold. And on eBay, I saw one sell for $795. Yeah, so, you know, a lot of rumblings from people thinking that it's like just a matter of time before it hits 1,000. It'll be interesting to see what happens, you know, after the stimulus check. Yeah, because I think, I'm not too sure exactly the details, but I'm pretty sure those checks are done now. And, you know, maybe still some people haven't spent it all or whatever it might be, or waiting for the right thing to spend it on. But I would imagine in the next month or two, maybe, you know, you can get some better deals than what you're getting right now on certain issues. I think Batman Beyond number 1 is one of those issues, maybe. Ultimate Follow 4 is another one of those issues. But, you know, the thing about that is they're so high quality, like it's hard to say don't buy these books, because I mean they really are. If someone asked me what are your 2 top modern books to invest in, it would be Ultimate Follow 4 and Batman Beyond number 1. And really right now the prices are just getting to, you know, that kind of top of the level ladder where I thought that could happen, but now that it has happened, it'll be interesting to see what happens. But yeah, it's a weird spot to be in, because I do want to recommend these books, but at the same time the prices are really expensive, so I think it might pay to be patient for 1 or 2 months, given the stimulus check environment. Yeah, so really interesting, though. You know, the bottom line is I don't know what's going to happen, so it'll be cool to just see. All right, yeah, good full list of key issues we got through there. The whole list is in the description below, and so if you kind of bring up, a lot of times I'll bring up the list and kind of follow along with the list open in the description on my computer when I'm sort of watching the videos, and then you can see the price while I'm talking. It makes it a little bit easier. So, but thanks so much for watching today. If you haven't already, I'd invite you to join the team and subscribe to Team CGC 9.8. Hit the bell to get all the latest notifications, and add me on Instagram and Twitter too. But thanks so much for watching. Appreciate the support so much, and I'll see everyone on the next one.